Hello there. Welcome to all those watching. We present to you the Wheel of Perseverance and Strength. The Wheel of Perseverance and Strength is an adaptation of the Wheels of Fortune. In this case, fittingly named because CAS is a crucial component of the IB diploma. It allows us to equip ourselves and learn skills and characteristics that would be helpful later in life. As a part of this activity that we have planned, what we are going to do is have two wheels. One wheel for the various strands of CAS and the second wheel with the 7 learning outcomes. The strands of CAS are creativity, activity, and service. Now, once the wheels have been spun, the teams will be required to provide us with an example of a CAS experienced that has been a part of their CAS program, which satisfies both the requirements of the strand as well as that of the learning outcome. So then, what exactly are we waiting for? Let us begin with the teams and let's roll the wheels and see what combination awaits them. Well, after having rolled the wheels, we have a combination of creativity, which is a strand of gas, and global engagement, which is the sixth learning outcome. Well, then, that is an interesting combination. Let's see what our teams have to say for that and which experience would exactly fit these requirements. Well, the team that is willing to answer is required to press the buzzer. Well, then, teams, give it a shot.
This might not be the most obvious answer, but what we would propose is the experience of taking part in a Model United Nations club or a conference. Model United Nations is a public speaking activity where students can represent different countries and debate pressing issues that the world faces, as well as what should be done by the United Nations or a body of the United Nations, or in fact, any powerful body in the world to solve the problems that they are supposed to be solving in that committee. Model United Nations is fundamentally about creativity. Creativity is about honing skills that you already have and thinking outside of the box to find innovative new ideas. Model United Nations help you hone skills such as being more persuasive, public speaking, learning how to read a room, how to work with other people. And the thing it prizes most is thinking outside of the box, constantly thinking of ways to one up those around you, thinking of innovative solutions and creative ideas and how to solve the issues that the world faces. And at the same time, you are engaging with learning outcome 6, because what is more global engagement than literally putting yourselves in the shoes of countries, considering the nuances that they have to when they're making foreign policy decisions and public policy decisions in their own countries and in their own domestic arenas, as well as understanding the nuances of the various trends and factors and issues that the world faces.
In continuation, from club to conference, it creates an environment to engage with new topics and people. Model UN expands your horizons in every way possible, from creative thinking to social engagement to ultimately making a better world. And at TISB MUM, we cover topics across humanity's timeline, whether you're learning from past mistakes or striving to avoid them in the future. One thing's clear, MUN teaches us all that problem solving requires more than simple thought. It requires topical engagement. It requires global engagement. And that's why Model UN is a great opportunity.
In fact, there's a really exciting opportunity for you to engage in this experience coming up right now, which is Intramun. And we hope that all of you participate. We think it would be a great addition to your CAS portfolio and really help you engage with the world around you and show your creativity. Back to you.
Well, I guess listening to that team has clearly showed us that we have a wide variety of experiences that we can choose from that suit our needs and our interests when it comes to tailoring a CAS program that we would like to be a part of. Well, before moving on to the next teams, I think we can have a short commercial break and have a few words from our CAS advisors who have been by our sides this entire CAS program. Let's see what they have to say.
Good morning, everyone. I have been a CAS advisor for many years now, and yes, CAS has helped me changed my perspective about a student, or I can say made me see another side of a student. I remember there was one student who I knew was an extrovert, but when I read her CAS diary, I realized she was not just a jack of all trades, but actually excelled in many of the activities that she was doing. She was a great dancer, a musician, good in both singing as well as in playing the piano. She was a theatre artist. She used theatre as a therapy. She conducted workshops for students as using theatre as a therapy. And she also taught artwork to the underprivileged students. Then she was into surfing, kayaking, trekking, yoga, and many more activities. After I read her diary, I was quite impressed, and actually, I developed a newfound admiration for the student. And then there was another student who was quite a shy person. I had very less interaction with him because we have just the 15 minutes in the morning every day. But after I read his CAS diary, I realized there were many dimensions even to this student. He had created an app that would help many people lead a healthier life. And this too opened my eyes about the student. I can actually go on and give many more examples of how I have seen CAS improving or developing the personality of the students. But I will stop now due to time constraint. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my experience with you all. Thank you and have a very good day.
Dr. Caroline is an Olympic rower and has led many high-altitude trekking expeditions to the Himalayas as well. So, Doctor, welcome to our show, first of all. Thank you so much for joining us. And to begin, would you please go ahead and introduce yourself so that us and our audience can get to know you?
The topic today is on sports, so I'll introduce myself as a sportswoman. So I was actually quite bored and disillusioned with school and very disruptive in lessons. I found that actually I love sport, partly because I didn't like being inside the classroom. I liked to be outside. I liked to be with other people. So sport became my passion at school, and through sport, it meant that my academic grades started improving, and actually I found a focus and a reason and a place in the school. So it was really through sport that actually I sort of found myself and developed. My sport at school was hockey and badminton, and I played for the county and the region in hockey, and also played for the Southwest University team when I went to Bristol University. Final 2 years at university, and also my first few years of when I started teaching, it was very much based around rowing. And through the sport, I was national champion for 3 years in women's 8, and I competed at the Barcelona Olympics a long time ago now, in 1992. And after the Olympics, I found I've always been very competitive. I was quite ruthless, and I began to not like myself. So what I did was I took up mountaineering, because the thing with mountaineering is that if you climb a mountain and it snows or you get high altitude sickness, it's not your fault. Whereas before, my sport was very much around you being in control of your training and your fitness and your performance. Whereas mountaineering, you had to rely on things that were completely out of your control. And actually, I used mountaineering as a way of becoming less competitive with myself and also with other people. So hence, the pleasure that I get a lot now from is mountaineering and trekking, partly because it takes you to some beautiful areas of the world, but also it's a way of dampening down my competitiveness, which is still very much evident in certain things that I do in life. But it's through mountaineering that actually I've found a little bit of peace with myself.
Well, it's time for us to roll the wheels once again. Let's roll them and see what awaits us. Oh wow. I mean, that seems like a tough one. We have the activity strand and the seventh learning outcome, which has a lot to do with ethics and ethical choices. Well, let's see which team is ready to answer. Teams, press your buzzers if you have an answer for that.
Learning Outcome 7 involves recognizing and considering the ethics of choices and actions. A student achieves Learning Outcome 7 when they are able to explain the social influences on their ethical identity, when they take into account cultural context while making plans or ethical decisions, when they identify what is needed to know in order to make an ethical decision, when they articulate the ethical principles and approaches to decision making, integrating the process of reflection, when they show accountability for their choices and actions, and finally, when they are aware of the consequences of these choices and actions regarding themselves, others involved, and the community as a whole. This learning outcome is possibly the most important and can be seen throughout CAS. A great example of this learning outcome can be observed in the CAS project COVID Fit Club, where all the members had to deal with a lot of personal information of their clients, especially during monetary transactions. All the members were aware of the ethical ramifications involved. Additionally, since COVID Fit Club provided services, all the members were held accountable for upholding the quality of these services. And in this manner, the members of COVID Fit Club met the requirements for achieving Learning Outcome 7.
Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet.
Well then, I think that experience matched both the requirements of the strand as well as the learning outcome. It was quite interesting as well. Also, it was quite fun too. Well, we need to take a short commercial break once again. And we will use this break to acknowledge the UN SDGs, without which this program would not have been possible. So please do welcome Anandita Kapoor, who will provide us with some insights regarding these Sustainable Development Goals.
Hello, my name is Anandita and I'm a grade 12 student currently. Today I'll be talking to you about revolving your project around sustainable development goals, which I think is a great idea. This is exactly what I did for my grade 11 project. My group picked out SDG 1 and 10, and we tried to look at it from different aspects before settling down on approaching it from the perspective of nutrition. A lot of my other classmates had revolved their projects around other SDGs, covering everything from proper urban planning to creating sustainable and recyclable fabric. We also had supervisors. My group had Miss Muthu Lakshmi, and she helped guide us through every obstacle and every challenge that we had. Miss Momita and Mr. Reggie were also heading other SDG groups, and they were quite helpful. So I encourage you to take this up if you want to.
Well, it's time for us to roll the wheels once again. Let's roll them and see what awaits us. Another interesting combination. Learning outcome 4, which has a lot to do with collaboration and collaborating and cooperating with others, and the strand being service. Well, this seems like an interesting one. Let's see what our teams have to say to that.
Learning outcome 4 deals with working collaboratively with others. And honestly, there's nothing that unites us more than our love for humanity and our love for our planet.
That's why we, the leaders of environmental awareness and protection, or LEAP for short, wanted to raise awareness about sustainability.
This way, we not only do a service to ourselves and our homes, but also to our planet as a whole.
And that's what this strand is about, working together to make a bigger difference. As all of you may remember, last week we conducted PSHME sessions on sustainable hygiene. With all the waste that is being created with microplastics, we thought talking about something as simple as hygiene products can aggregate into a big change in reducing waste.
Working together can work miracles. We saw so many people pledge to reuse, reduce, and recycle. And we hope that with all our contributions, we can truly make a difference.
Even in the creation of our PPTs in the first place, working together helped us play to our strengths and get our message across in the best way possible.
I have some experience with design, and she has a lot of experience with public speaking. So it was a perfect blend when we put our minds together to make an effective presentation. And in the process, I got to know so many new people and build stronger networks. Collaborative working always leads to immense impacts.
And this was only one of the experiences we had in our stand.
That was indeed an extremely amazing and well-thought experience that matched the requirements both of the strand as well as the learning outcome. It clearly shows that doing something good for society need not only be fulfilling but can also be fun.
पाँव रखो और चलो पकड़ के चलो फलक पकड़ के उठो और हवा पकड़ के चलो फलक पकड़ के उठो और
Well, over the years, especially the last two, we've seen some amazing service activities. They are all a product of collaboration, innovation, and hard work. Things like the Daya Project, Spectrum, After School Clubs, the Pomegranate Project, the teaching ventures, or the prefect icebreaker initiatives, or even the mental health initiatives. All of these undertaken by the students at our school for our society.
रूह से बहती हुई दुनिया इशारे दे कुछ मेरे राज तेरे राज आवारा से खो गए हम कहाँ रंग सा ये जहां
रंगों सा ये जहां खो गए हम कहाँ रंगों सा ये जहां सो गई है ये सांसें सभी अधूरी सी है कहानी मेरी
फिसल जाए भी तो डर ना कोई रुक जाने की जरूरत नहीं
कागज के पर्दे हैं ताले हैं दरवाजों पे पानी में डूबे हुए ख्वाब अल्फाजों के
खो गए हम कहाँ रंगों सा ये जहां खो गए हम कहाँ रंगों सा ये जहां टेढ़े मेढ़े रास्ते हैं जादुई इमारतें हैं मैं भी हूँ तू भी है यहाँ खोई सोई सड़कों पे सितारों के कंधों पे हम नाचते उड़ते हैं यहाँ
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Well, I think we can move on to a few other inspiring words from our alumni.
Hey guys, my name's Chirag. I graduated from TISB almost 4 years ago now. I'm currently at UC Berkeley where I'm studying computer science and physics. And I think CAS is a really great opportunity to motivate yourself to pursue things that you're interested in outside school. So don't think of it as something that you have to do well in or like prepare for. It's just something that should capture the kinds of things you like to spend your time on outside of school. So for me, I was very interested in music, and so a lot of my activities under the creativity category were performances with my band, Vivum stuff, recording new music, things like that. And so besides this, through CAS, I was also able to get involved in community service and really identify causes that I wanted to contribute to. And I think this is really important because in TISB, it's pretty easy to be isolated from the communities around us. And CAS does a really good job of helping you break down those barriers and get involved with other communities. Finally, I also really encourage you to do CAS things with your friends because that makes the experience a lot more fun. I pushed myself to participate in this obstacle course run called Devil's Circuit with my friends, and that was a really rewarding experience. And it's not something that I think I would have done if I'd done it all by myself. I also did this fundraising concert for this NGO called Snehadan with my bandmates. And so this was a really fun way for me to do what I really enjoy, which is making music, and also have this meaningful impact on an important organization. And I think in college and beyond, it's really important to have a wide range of interests outside of school or work in your social life, because that's really how you meet new people with similar interests as you, and it's also how you figure out what kinds of things you want to spend your time working towards. And so CAS is a really great way of getting you started on that by motivating you to participate in a variety of different things outside of school.
Hey everyone, I'm Rishi Chapolia. I graduated TISB in 2018 and now I'm doing my final year at Columbia University. For CAS was a big part of my IB experience. To me, what CAS means is it's a set of experiences designed to kind of broaden your character outside the classroom and apply those same skills, proactivity, critical thinking, focus, and initiative outside of the textbook and outside of what you do with the intellectual part of your mind, to athletics or creativity like singing and dancing. And it's been a huge very positive experience for me. The funniest CAS experience for me was in 12th grade. I made a short film and I was looking for someone to play the part of a mother in the short film, and I couldn't find someone, so I asked my own mom to play it, and she did it, and she did a pretty good job. And that I thought was really funny because I'd never expected my mother to act in one of my short films. And CAS is a huge part of my life even now, because one thing I used to do a lot was make short films, and I continue doing that now. I actually want to work professionally as a filmmaker, so CAS is a part of my life daily as I work with actors and I make my short films. I just made one recently, and I highly recommend CAS. It was a very invaluable experience at TISB for me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ishir and I am a freshman at Johns Hopkins University. I was the IAYP and CAS prefect last year, and I just wanted to reflect on my CAS experiences and give you guys some information and some tips for CAS program. CAS is a component of the IB program, and it involves 3 bands, as you may know: creativity, activity, and service. So these 3 components are something that you're going to have to engage in during your time in IB. However, it's nothing to stress out about, because it's basically a way to organize and document and reflect on experiences and activities that you are already engaged in. You are already pursuing activities in these 3 areas. All of you are very talented and successful individuals, so you will all have endeavors definitely in covering areas in creativity, activity, and service. So it's just about taking those things that you are interested in and doing them, carrying them out in a dedicated manner in your spare time, and just documenting it in a systematic manner. That's essentially what CAS is. It's not meant to be a stressful sort of thing, and if there is one component of the IB that you shouldn't stress out about, it is CAS. As the IYP and CAS prefect, I can say that engaging in activities is something that is definitely, it seems to be kind of you seem to be limited by the fact that it's online and all, but don't stop yourselves, right? Because there are things that you can definitely continue doing even though it's online. You guys have been online all through IB. We had like half of it, we had a little bit of it in person, and then suddenly it became online, right? So I was for my creativity, I was taking saxophone lessons at school, and those continued online. So I was able to actually continue my creative aspects in CAS. For activity, my fitness lessons that I was taking on a weekly basis, I continued those online during the pandemic. I also, after the lockdown was lifted, I continued with my cycling routine, which I used for activity. For service, I was working with a organization, with volunteering my time with them before the pandemic, and after the pandemic, I continued with them with online projects. So it is indeed possible for you to do things in this limited sort of online environment. Don't feel don't feel that you can't do it. You all can. I wish you all the best. All of you are on your way to doing really well. Do well. Don't get stressed out, and all the best.
Now, what I see is that we have a tie between all our three teams. Well, this seems to be a tough one. I think we need a tiebreaker, and for that, we will be looking for a team that can provide us with an example of a project. Now, may I remind you, a project needs to match the requirements of at least two of these strands, which are whether it could be creativity or activity, activity or service, or even service or creativity. So let's see if someone can provide us with an example of a project that meets the requirements of these two strands and maybe even three, and even matches the requirements of multiple learning outcomes. Well, teams, what do you have to say? Please press your buzzer in case you have an example.
I know, this project encompasses all three strands: creativity in every nook and cranny of this innovative fest, activity in all our sports events, and service in our goal of giving back to society in the form of charities to ameliorate the COVID-19 situation. Of course, we are talking about Viva.
Yeah, we'll be counting stars. Like a swinging vine, swing my heart across the line. In my face is flashing signs. Seek it out and ye shall find. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. And I don't think the world is sold. I'm just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, doing the wrong thing. And I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I could lie, could lie, could lie. Kills me, makes me feel alive.
This roller coaster ride wasn't just a memorable experience for us, but also a CAS project of the best kind, helping our community together in a myriad of ways, while also discovering new talents and skills in ourselves.
Well, what I can say is that now we have come to the end of our Wheels of Perseverance and Strength. What one can conclude is that our participants do have great amount of information about what CAS strands and learning outcomes are. They have given us some beautiful examples of how we can take part in experiences that meet the requirements of our CAS strands as well as our learning outcomes. However, what they also have shown is that CAS is not only an IB component, but is a learning experience for us and gives us an opportunity to build connections and learn and give back to the society that we are a part of.